Well, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a edition of Face to Heels, episode 35. My name's Ben Cornett. Yes, Face to Heels is back. It's been on a very long hiatus. I do apologize for that. Been really busy lately, the last, I would say, couple months. But I want to do a wrestling show tonight. It's been a while. It's been way too long, and there's just been way too much stuff going on in the world of professional wrestling that I wanted to get on here for a little bit. I will say I won't be on too long tonight, but I do want to talk for a bit about the current product, what's going on. Obviously, as you know, right now, Monday Night Raw is live. Um, it is night two of the draft. As you know, we had night one of the draft this past Friday night on SmackDown, which was uh, was okay. Um, I thought maybe we'd get some surprises here and there as far as who's going where, but it seems like so far we've gotten, I would say, about 80% of the draft is people staying on where they're at now, so it doesn't, it's not been as interesting. I'm not saying it's been awful, but, I just probably expected a little more out of this. Maybe have a couple little surprises being thrown to another brand. Like, um, I guess the biggest move was Nia Jax going to SmackDown from Raw. Um, it's okay, but again, it's not really like earth shattering. I just thought I would expect more out of it. You know, I wasn't expecting like the Bloodline to go to Raw or Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown, anything like that. But I thought maybe we'd get like a surprise or two. But it is what it is. So far the draft's been okay. Um, Still some picks to go. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's any other um, surprise picks coming later on. Oh, we did have even NXT is eligible for the draft this year. Obviously, I want to apologize. The sun, it's still daylight, um, so yeah, that's why you see that glare there. Let me try and get right here. There we go. That looks a lot better, where you can actually see my face. I don't know if you want to see it or not. Maybe you just want to hear me, uh, like I said, NXT is available for eligible for the draft as well. One wrestler did from NXT did go to Raw, which is Kiara James. That's pretty interesting pick there. Uh, Good wrestler, good talker, got a good look. So hopefully she'll find her place on Raw. So that's cool. We probably will see a few more NXT wrestlers like Carmelo Hayes. He got drafted to SmackDown. I like that pick. Um, in fact, Carmelo had a match with Cody on SmackDown this past Friday night, which was pretty good. They had that one little botch, but it happens. No big deal. So I like that pick. I like Mello going to SmackDown. Braun Breaker, he was on SmackDown, but then he got drafted to Raw. That's a little interesting. Kind of surprised. Um, so yeah, right now, other than that, I mean, there's not really any big surprises that you'd say, wow, SmackDown got this performer. Oh wow, Raw got that one. It's pretty much most of the people staying on where they're at now. So, like I said, there's still a few picks to go. We'll see what happens. Right now, tonight, Raw's in Kansas City, Missouri. They had Patrick Mahomes on there. Did a nice little segment with him and Logan Paul where uh, Logan borrowed Patrick Mahomes' 3 Super Bowl rings. I don't know if there's real Super Bowl rings, but he used them to. He was going to hit Jey Uso, but he accidentally hit JD McDonough. So it was a nice little segment there. You could see in the background. Uh, Actually, let's cover that up a little bit. I don't want to get in trouble. Copyright. Sorry about that. I can't, because I'm on YouTube, I can't really, I gotta make sure I don't um, get in trouble for that. I can't show the live stuff. That, by the way, that was Braun Breaker talking with Sheamus there. Yeah, so uh, right now we got a match with Candice LeRae with Indy Hartwell in there. That's okay. But anyway, so it's pretty much the draft going on right now. Again, we'll see what happens, see if there's any more surprises. As we know, Backlash is this Saturday in Lyon, France. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Peacock or internationally, WWE Network. As we know, the main event will be Cody Rhodes defending the Universal title against AJ Styles. Match-wise, I think that's going to be fun to watch. I cannot wait to see that match. I think we all know who's going to win. Cody's going to win, but I'm expecting a very good match. AJ Styles, as we all know, is going to, bring out the best in Cody Rhodes. He brings out the best in everybody. I think they have wrestled before on the Indies. Not WWE, but on the Indies. But both these guys are very capable of putting on a very good match, especially AJ Styles. I mean, I think he's like 44, 45 years old. I mean, he's, for a guy that old, that's at that age and still putting on, great matches, it's incredible. And I don't expect anything different from him this Saturday against Cody Rhodes. Again, should be a phenomenal match, no pun intended. And yeah, it should be a very interesting show. You got Kabuki Warriors. They're the women's tag team champions. Now, real quick, they did say that whoever's the women's tag team champions can go on both shows because the belts are not exclusive to any brand. So they're going to defend those tag team titles against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. That should be an interesting match. Like I said, Bianca, she's been on a roll. She was the number one overall pick in the draft this year. So that's cool. Jade Cargill on SmackDown. That should be fun. Believe it or not, I'm actually expecting a heel turn here. I could see Jade turning on Bianca this Saturday. That's just me. I might be wrong, but I get the feeling that that might be what is going to take place. So yeah, those are two of those matches. They don't really have a lot of other matches listed on the card, at least from what I've seen yet. So, but still, it should be a pretty fun pay-per-view, especially for it being in France. Good for the French people. They're going to have opportunities to have a big show in their country. Like I said, France isn't the only country that's going to get premium live events this year. As you know, Money in the Bank will be in Toronto. They're going to have another Saudi show, the King and Queen of the Ring. They're going to have a Clash at the Castle in Scotland. They're going to have a Bash in Berlin, Germany. So they're definitely going international this year. And also SummerSlam tickets are going on sale this Friday for SummerSlam in Cleveland, Ohio at the First Energy Stadium, home of the Cleveland Browns. So that's a big event right there. And there's been rumors circulating around that Minneapolis was supposed to get WrestleMania 41 this year, but now numerous reports, Fightful Select and other outlets think that they're not saying it, but they're assuming that Las Vegas is taking the lead on getting WrestleMania 41. As you know, I do live here in Vegas, so if it happens, I gotta go. I don't know if it'll be night 1 or night 2, whatever it is. I'm gonna try to get one of those nights to go to WrestleMania. That should be really awesome. And I mean, it does make a lot of sense for Las Vegas. I mean, we got the stadium, Allegiant Stadium, home of the Raiders. Um, you know, we got T-Mobile Arena, where my Golden Knights are playing right now against the um, Dallas Stars, which I'm going to watch in a little bit because that's why I said I'm not going to do a super long show tonight. But no offense, I just my team's playing. So you can have like the SmackDown the Friday night before the Hall of Fame there. Then you got your NXT Stand and Deliver show, their WrestleMania the next morning, Saturday morning. Then you have night 1 of WrestleMania, Allegiant Stadium, night 2 at Allegiant Stadium, and then the Monday after, the Raw after WrestleMania, they're at T-Mobile. So that's if it happens in Las Vegas. So hopefully it does, but we'll see. We'll see what takes place, what transpires there. See if Vegas gets it. Like I said, for months it was rumored it's supposed to be Minneapolis, which that makes sense too. They got their stadium, US Bank Stadium, where the Vikings play. So who knows? But that's down the line. We won't know for sure when that's going to be announced, but it should be coming up in the near future. That announcement. This is a wrestling show, not just a WWE show, but we'll talk about a little bit of AEW real quick. It's just been tough times, tough sailing lately for them. But they did have a pretty good show this past Sunday night, a week from last night. Swerve Strickland is now the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, beat Samoa Joe at Dynasty. That's great. I'm happy for Swerve. I think he deserves it. He should be the lead man in AEW. I said it numerous shows that this is the guy you want to strap the rocket on, strap it onto him, because I think he's a tremendous performer. Just has really improved since he got to AEW. He just looks like a main eventer, acts like a main eventer, talks like a main eventer, looks like a main eventer. And, if there's one person I think WWE would have liked to have back, it would have been Swerve Strickland. And I'm not saying they didn't try to get him back, but, Swerve chose to go to AEW, and, it was kind of a rocky start for him, but he got back, got better in the ring, and really improved his persona, and now he's the AEW champion. Although I didn't really like how they used him on Dynamite after the pay-per-view. They kind of put him in a secondary match. I always feel like a lot of people feel this way. If you're the world champion, especially when you become the new world champion, you should be featured. You're the main attraction. You're the guy. You should be put ahead of everybody. You're the face of that company. And I thought on Dynamite they didn't do a very good job of that. They put him in a match with Kyle Fletcher. No offense to Kyle Fletcher, but why is he wrestling sort of? So, they did say, they explained later on that they had Swerve on, Collision. He's going to be the lead-in after the Celtics Heat game. I don't know what the numbers end up being, but AEW felt that would be a real strong lead-in. So he cut his promo there. Pretty good, very good promo. Then he had a match with Claudio Castagnoli, the main event of that show of Collision. Good match. Then we'll find out who Swerve's going to face this coming week on Dynamite, who his first opponent's going to be. Pay-per-view wise, that'll be Double or Nothing, which is here in Vegas in May 26th. Don't know if I'm going to be going or not, but and then the whole thing with Tony Khan. Yeah. Listen, the whole thing with I've explained it many times with the video and shown that video of CM Punk. I don't know if it did anybody any favors. I don't hate that Jack Perry's a heel and, attacking Tony Khan the way they did, him and the Young Bucks and Okada. But we'll see where it goes. And Tony was on the NFL Network all week, selling the neck injury. I'll give him credit; he stayed in character. But again, I'm not going to rip AEW. Listen, a lot of people do that. I'm not going to. Let's just see how they do. Let's just see where this goes. Hopefully, Swerve Strickland gets an opportunity to be the guy. Again, he's the world heavyweight champion. He's your main attraction. Treat him like it. That's all I'm saying. There's room for the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, Tony Khan storyline. There's room for that as well. But right now, get Swerve Strickland, to be featured. He's your main eventer, and there's some opponents, maybe a John Moxley down the line. I'm not saying this coming pay-per-view, but have a John Moxley or Bryan Danielson, or maybe Hangman comes back fairly soon, or even Okada. Who knows? I mean, there's potentially, Christian Cage. There's a lot of potential great matchups for Swerve Strickland, during his title run. So let's see how AEW books this. And right now, as you see, CM Punk is here tonight on Raw, and then he's still messing with Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, when CM Punk comes back to, from his injury, that match is going to be great. I can't wait. I cannot wait for that rivalry. Those two. It's been really good. Drew McIntyre, by the way, he just signed a brand new contract extension with WWE, a multi-year deal, which is, I think we all knew he was going to re-sign. Well deserved, by the way. He's just been kicking ass, both in the ring and out of the ring. His character's been great. He's hit a home run, and he deserves to get a new contract. And like I said, I cannot wait until CM Punk gets back. Him and Drew McIntyre are gonna, right now they're just doing promos, and they got me sold on it. So, wait till they have their match. If Punk can get cleared by SummerSlam, that would be great. It's a few months away. It's possible, but you don't want to rush it back either with CM Punk. You could always do that match, maybe at Survivor Series. Hell, try and build a storyline for Mania. Maybe that's stretching it out pretty long, but definitely anything's possible with these two. So again, CM Punk's in the ring. I'll have to listen to it in a little bit, but that's pretty much all I got right now as far as the draft. As you know, tonight's the draft, the second night. Tomorrow night we got NXT Spring Break 2, Part 2, or Night 2, as they say. Last week, Trick Williams defeated Dragunov for the NXT title, so looks like to me Dragunov will be headed up to the main roster, which is kind of expected. I predict he'll go on Raw, but we'll see what happens. There's not too much more to dive into tonight, so I just wanted to get on here real quick, do a special Face the Heels episode. Again, I do apologize for not doing more of these shows. Mondays have been really hectic for me. Like beginning to middle of the week's just really been tough on me, as far as getting on and everything. Not being able to have the time to do it. That's the main thing. Just not having the time to do it. So, but I'm going to try and get on here as often as we can to do more of these wrestling shows and to do more of the Have At It shows. So with that being said, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. I appreciate that. And we will see you next time right here on Face to Heels. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll be back here real soon.